Hello world, welcome to episode 42, the Jimmy Canz Show, classic Supercard Retrospective. Let's do it. Starrcade 88 True Grit. Alright, NWA event promoted by World Championship Wrestling, held December 26th, 1988 from the Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. Attendance 10,000, broadcast live on pay-per-view, and later released on home video through Turner Home Entertainment. The action was called by Jim Ross and Bob Caudle. This broadcast featured 7 matches. There was a Bunkhouse Stampede Dark match, but we aren't going to discuss that as it wasn't part of the broadcast, thank God. In this 7-match card, 5 of these are title matches, so let's get into it. Opening contest is for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. The champions, the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, facing the Varsity Club, represented by Dr. Death Steve Williams and Kevin Sullivan. Pretty solid tag, match here. Decent length, gets the crowd going. Varsity Club gets the win and becomes your new champions when Williams hits a stun gun on Rogers for the 3. So there you have it, new United States Tag Team Champions, the Varsity Club. Next is another tag match, all right? And this is an interesting one. The Midnight Express. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Sweet Stan Lane, with Jim Cornette in their corner, took on Paulie Dangerously's original Midnight Express, consisting of Loverboy Dennis Condrey and Ravishing Randy Rose. So Lane and Eaton get the win after a very long match with a double goozle. Honestly, I'm not sure why this was used as a finish. To me, that goozle is that's a big guy power move. And I don't think of Lane and Eaton as power guys. And, when I think of that goozle, I think of guys like Haku or Ming, whichever you want to call him, the Barbarian, Kane, Undertaker, Umaga, those types of big power guys. I don't think of the technicians like an Eaton or Lane, but there you have it. Anyway, post-match, Dangerously, Rose, Condrey, they all beat up Cornette to help ensure that this feud is not over yet and will continue on. So our third match is our third consecutive tag match of the night. This one featuring the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff, is teaming with the Junkyard Dog. They were taking on the team of the Russian Assassins, with Paul Jones in their corner. If Koloff and JYD win this match, Jones must retire and the Assassins must unmask. That was our stipulation. There had to be some type of stipulation if Paul Jones is in the mix. I can't hardly think of anything that involves Paul Jones that doesn't have a stipulation tied to it. This was, typical booking in the finish of this match for the times, as the Russians place a foreign object into one of their masks and a headbutt later to Koloff. They get the win. So the Russian Assassins win, and Jones doesn't have to retire, and they don't have to unmask. Fourth match is our first singles match, and it's our first, it's our first singles title match, our first singles match altogether, and our first singles title match. Actually, I think all the singles matches on this card involve titles. This one is for the NWA World Television Championship. Champion representing the Varsity Club, Mike Rotunda, defending against Rick Steiner. Kevin Sullivan was locked in a shark cage for this one. This is a very solid match. Over 17 minutes. I thought we were going to get a crazy Dusty finish here at the end. And we did kind of get a crazy Dusty finish, like a double crazy Dusty finish. So Rick has a cover, and Dr. Death had made his way down to ringside, and he goes over to the timekeeper and grabs the hammer, and he rings the bell when Rick has the cover. So Steiner jumps up celebrating, thinking he won the match, even though there was no count. The official thinks it was a time limit draw. He didn't call for the bell, but the bell rang and everything. So he's about to raise Rotunda's hand when another official, Tommy Young, comes out, tells Teddy Long, who was officiating the match, exactly what happened. They then decide to restart the match. During all this fiasco, the cage was lowered and Sullivan was let out of the cage. Rotunda, charges Steiner, who moves, and he slams into Sullivan on the apron, which Steiner capitalizes on, jumps on a dazed Rotunda for the cover and the win. So the winner and new television champion, Rick Steiner. So like I said, it's kind of crazy. Not only did we get, inadvertent, I don't want to call it inadvertent because it was deliberately done, not official bell ring, but then you get the bump, to lead to the pin as well. So it's like a double Dusty finish. Second consecutive title match. This one is for the NWA United States Championship. Champion Barry Windham with J.J. Dillon in his corner, taking on recently, signed, moved over from the WWF, Bam Bam Bigelow with Sir Oliver Humperdinck in his corner. So two great athletic, big men in the prime of their career put on a very solid match. But we kind of get another Dusty finish here. Windham ends up defeating Bigelow via countout after he posts him on the outside, and then Windham is able to get back into the ring before the 10 count, whereas Bigelow could not. So it's kind of done, I think, to keep Bam Bam strong. He didn't lose clean, so to speak. He didn't get pinned, he didn't submit. He just couldn't make it back in the ring. So they kind of wanted to make him stay strong, I think. It was the rationale behind this one. Next, the NWA World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The team of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Sting challenging the champions, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, with Precious Paul Ellering in their corner. And another Dusty finish here. Sting has the win. Ellering interferes and gets the Road Warriors DQ'd. Sting and Dusty win the match, but not the titles. And last but not least on the pay-per-view, the main event, the NWA World Championship. Challenger, the total package, Lex Luger, takes on the champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, with J.J. Dillon. Incredibly long match. Goes over 30 minutes. You guys left it all out there. Very solid wrestling, good storytelling, and, typical Flair at the end of it. Dirtiest player in the game. He cheats to get the win as he uses the ropes for leverage to get the pin on Luger and retain the title. So now, while I think this was better than some of the offerings we got during the dying days of Crockett, this still, in my opinion, wasn't all that solid of a show. Honestly, I just want to know, did Dusty have something against clean 3 counts in title matches and major feud blowoffs? The only title match with a solid 3 count was the opening contest for the United States Tag Team Championship. And the only non-title match with a pretty clean finish was the second match, the tag match between the Midnight Express and the original Midnight Express. I mean, after that, the rest of the night was just crazy. You know, the Koloff match had a dirty finish. The TV title had that crazy finish. The United States title was a count out. World Tag Team title was a DQ, and then Flair cheats, you know, to win his match. So, you know, we get 2 clean 3 counts to open the show, and then 5 consecutive crazy finishes after that. And if I'm going to be honest, I think it was, you know, booking decisions like this, combined with now the Turner organization not wanting any blood, and Dusty getting color in that angle with the Road Warriors, you know, leading into this, that led to him being fired, because he was fired after this show. Like I said, I think it was better kind of when we were getting toward the end, but it wasn't a great show. You know, if I have to be honest, the wrestling on the show was solid, but the finishes just really left a bad taste in my mouth. So on my 10 belt scale, I'll give Starrcade 88 True Grit. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And simply because, like I said, the actual wrestling was good. Like I said, it was just the finishes that were awful for the majority of the show. So there you have it. Next up, my classic retrospectives, we'll look back at our first big show of 1989, as Vince and company are going to give us our first pay-per-view version of the Rumble with the 1989 Royal Rumble. So give the channel a like, a share, and subscribe. I hope wherever you are doing well. Be good to one another. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you when I see you.